Hello, and welcome to Algebra 1, Lesson 11. Today, we are going to cover some very important material, so please pay close attention. The first thing is, we are going to talk about the reciprocal, otherwise known as the multiplicative inverse. The idea is that if we have a number, the reciprocal of that number is 1 over that number. Or, if we write it as a fraction, we flip the numerator and denominator to get the reciprocal. What's special about the reciprocal? Well, if I multiply the original number by the reciprocal, I get 1. So it cancels the original number. So that's why we like the reciprocal. Let's try negative 1/5. If I flip the top and bottom, I get negative 5 over 1. Again, if I multiply these two together, I get 1. That's the reciprocal. Not too difficult. Now, let's talk about the order of operations. This is really important, and most students struggle to really get this concept. We have these letters here, PEMDAS, or a good way to remember it is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The idea is for each of these steps in order, we are going to do them so that we are solving the math problem correctly. P stands for parentheses. So our job is to simplify whatever is in parentheses or like absolute values first before moving on to the rest of the problem. Then we have exponents. Then we have multiplication and division combined. Division. Then we have addition and subtraction. Subtraction. Wow. All right, it's a bad spelling day today. So the idea is we're going to start with parentheses and simplify whatever's in parentheses if we have them. Then we will deal with exponents. Then we will do multiplication and division. And then and only then can we add or subtract. A lot of students want to jump to add addition and subtraction because it's easier, but that is the wrong way to do the problem. So let's do this one. 4 times 3 plus 2 plus negative 3 times 5. So my first step, and what I would encourage you to do, is write PEMDAS off to the side. Your first step is to do parentheses. There are no parentheses to be simplified. The number inside these ones is a number by itself. So I have no parentheses to simplify. Now we go to exponents. There are no exponents. So my next step is multiplication and division. What I want you guys to do for these first couple of problems is circle the step that you're on, line them up, and then underline the parts that you're going to do that with. You can do it with a different color too. That often helps. The temptation here is for students to add 3 plus 2 instead of multiplying 4 times 3 first. So we have to go in order. 4 times 3 is, well, actually, since I know I'm not touching this plus 2 because that's addition and subtraction, I'm going to remove the temptation to add those numbers now. And instead, I'm just going to copy it down. Now, I'm going to do the operations that I listed here. 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Now that I've multiplied and divided, there was no division. That's done. Now I'm going to do addition and subtraction. What am I going to add and subtract? Well, the whole thing. From left to right. So 12 plus 2 is 14 minus 15 is negative 1. Boxing my answer. Let's do another one. It's so important that you do these in the right order. I hate to say it, but Facebook is full of random math questions where people have to do the order of operations and they don't do it. And then they're like, haha, you got it wrong. Not worth your time anyways. But it is important to do the order of operations in order. So we have PEMDAS again, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All of the numbers in parentheses are by themselves, so I have no parentheses to deal with. I have no exponents or powers. So again, I go to multiplication and division. I'm going to circle that. I'm going to underline the ones that I'm multiplying and dividing. A lot of students will want to do -3 plus 6. That is wrong. So we're going to remove temptation, just like you should remove temptation in your life, right? Jesus said, if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. Not actually take your eye out, but that's the lengths that we should go to get rid of temptation. So I would encourage you guys, if things are tempting you, remove the way you get to them. We're removing the ability to add -3 and 6 by writing it down there. Now we'll do our multiplication. -5 times 2 is -10. 6 times 3 is 18. From there, I've completed my multiplication and division. I'll do my addition and subtraction. Since all of these terms are added and subtracted, I'll go from left to right. So -10 minus 3 is -13 plus 18. -13 plus 18 is 5. So again, you're writing these out, crossing out the steps, and color coding if you have different colors, which I would highly encourage for you to do that. And that, my friends, is problem set 11.